Hi guys, Artie here, and right now, the channel FXX isn't doing so hot. They've axed a couple shows from the lineup recently, those being the Cleveland show and more importantly, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the final remaining live-action show on the network. That's right, if you don't count the movies they play in the morning, FXX is an entirely animation-centric network. If you want to learn more about the history and background regarding FXX, I recommend you check out my earlier video, FXX Network, 10-Year History and Retrospective. The downfall first started in September 2023 when the channel, along with all the other Disney-owned networks, were dropped from the cable provider Spectrum due to a carriage dispute. Eventually, they would reach an agreement to keep the more popular primary channels, including FX, National Geographic, and Disney Channel. Meanwhile, the various lesser-viewed Disney networks including FXX, FXM, Freeform, and Disney XD were permanently removed, which took away a good chunk of viewers. Skip forward to recently, the Cleveland show was removed due to them somehow losing the broadcast rights. I wouldn't really care if they removed it if Comedy Central, who currently holds the rights to the series, would actually play it instead of preempting it every single week. If you know something about Comedy Central, it is that they like to be petty. They'll be spiteful and hold onto the rights to certain shows and either hardly air it or not show it at all. Paramount will just sit on the rights until it expires, out of spite. Comedy Central does not have a good relationship with their rivals Adult Swim and Fox. Back in 2018, when Adult Swim lost the rights to King of the Hill to Comedy Central, they would only air it very late at night or early in the morning when no one was awake to watch it. Later on in 2020, they stopped airing it altogether and just sat on the rights until they expired in 2021, and it went back to Adult Swim and FXX. Fast forward to late August of this year, they were surprisingly able to get the rights to Family Guy. However, they only air a small portion of the series, and you'll often see the same episodes being played over and over again. If I had to guess, they only bought specific, hand-picked episodes because of how expensive it would be to license out the whole show, or to purposely annoy viewers with the same handful of episodes repeatedly. To be fair, they've been adding a few more seasons to the rotation, and what I believe is that they waited for it to become profitable and then buy more seasons little by little. On the other hand, I don't have a proper explanation to why It's Always Sunny departed the network. However, I do have a few guesses to why. It could be that they also lost the broadcast rights, or it's out of place on a network that is 90% animated content excluding movies. Even if that's the case, I noticed many people were upset on my community post about the show's removal. Since it's gone from FXX, it may return to the main FX channel in the future. And then there's the sporadic shows. These are series that will appear on the network every few months or so, but are never permanent additions to the channel. These include Dave, Solar Opposites, and FXM Presents. I won't count these as permanently removed shows, since there's a chance they could return at a later date. The only sign that the channel may have a chance is that this year, they've made new bumpers for the remaining shows on the network, and there's been no announcement or insider information on the future of the channel. So only time will tell. The only hint that we got is the removal of a couple shows, and what will happen next? King of the Hill leaves? The other hint that could lead to FXX shutting down is the trend of Disney shuttering their lesser-viewed channels in the past 5 years. Starting in late 2019, Disney shut down hundreds of international channels, including Fox and Star channels because of the launch of Disney+. Thankfully, America got off easy due to how reliant certain audiences, more specifically senior citizens, are on television, and it would piss off a lot of people if they decided to take them off the air. Not to mention, it would be throwing away money by leaving behind a sizable audience. We all know boomers have a more difficult time navigating streaming services and aren't tech savvy. Not all of them are that way, but you get the point. I almost forgot to mention that FXM, Nat Geo Wild, and an array of other networks were all discontinued in Latin America in 2022, so the US equivalents could be next. If FXX were to shut down, Disney could just move The Simpsons, Archer, and It's Always Sunny to the main FX channel, while the other shows like Bob's Burgers can continue being licensed out to air on third-party networks, especially Adult Swim. Back in 2022, I thought the channel was at their peak, and could very well rival not only Comedy Central, but also Adult Swim, which is really saying something. Ever since the bombastic September 2021 rebrand, they were heading in the right direction by dropping live-action programming in favor of adding more Fox Toons and building up a Fox animation channel. Even before FXX expanded their animation lineup, I thought a Fox Toon channel was a clever idea, and it was already done in Italy, so why not do it in America? My prediction back in 2023 is that FXX would continue to expand their animation library and introduce more recent Fox adult animated shows such as Duncanville and The Great North, which are moderately successful, but not smash hits. It's sad that may not end up happening and the channel could possibly even shut down someday. Who knows, maybe Adult Swim will end up getting The Great North, given how successful Bob's Burgers has been on the channel. It's a shame. FXX could have been so much more. Before I close out, I want to say that despite the remainder of the shows on the channel having hundreds of episodes to warrant lengthy marathons, there just isn't enough variety. Most people don't mind it, but they always play the episodes in chronological order. For example, you'll have the awesome classic era episodes of The Simpsons air for a few months, then the middle of the road seasons, and then all the boring modern ones for a long time until the rotation starts over. With series that have this many episodes, it would be better to shuffle and randomize the airing order. For example, have a Season 6 episode play, and then have a Season 33 episode follow that, then a Season 17 episode, and then a Season 1 episode in like that pattern, so it's less predictable and tiresome. That final stretch of The Simpsons rotation is always the most painful. They should mix it up. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. Do you think the FXX network is on its way out and could shut down in the near future? Let me know in the comments.